Hi, this is W0TM Wotem. Uh, this really will be a short video. Why is Julian Assange, if he does really have a video that will destroy Hillary Clinton, why is he waiting? It would seem to me that it's quite apparent, but in talking to others, they don't seem to catch on. Uh, Unless President Obama, and very good chance of it happening, um, does something, martial law, because of a natural event or a staged event or something, or it's my understanding, well, as you probably know, making clones ever since Dolly the sheep clone came along. Sheep is a full-size animal, you know, different from a human being only because it's a sheep and a human being is a human being. So there have been clones for decades. The Obama clone, there were 3 or 4 clones. I watched a video pointing out the very slight differences between the clones. One of them, the hairline was like a tenth of an inch different. Another one had a tiny, tiny, tiny scar. Another one had a very different, or very slightly different, darker color spot on skin. But the 4 Obama clones, I'm told, it appears are still quite healthy. One of them is dumb as a post and was pressed into action for whatever reason, didn't have a teleprompter, and couldn't hardly string a sentence together. They don't use him very often. Hillary Clinton did have 3 other, either 3 or 4 clones besides herself. I don't know anything about making clones, but I have read that clones are truly identical and remain identical as the what they are cloned of. So if Hillary had brain clots, dementia, Alzheimer's, whatever, spent time in the hospital, the other clones did too. They are truly identical. But perhaps not. I have learned, and I can't say how, it is now down to 2 Hillarys. Whether or not both of them are clones, I don't know. Maybe one of them is a real one, is the real Hillary, and one of them is a clone. But it's getting down to brass tacks. They are doing everything possible to keep at least one of them still alive to the election, but it's becoming difficult. You're seeing all the stuff the Secret Service is doing. The Secret Service is even spilling the beans on her of her physical condition, and it still isn't stopping her. Nothing is stopping her, it seems. The only thing that's going to stop her is if she just collapses. Um, she's wearing a colostomy bag, and her clone, maybe they're both clones. Anyway, colostomy bag. She cannot walk up more than 1 step. Strobe lights send her mentally into just a mental breakdown. Trying to think of the word for it. Anyway, that's why she hasn't given a press conference in 200 and some days. She can't handle her physical body, eyes, mind cannot handle strobe lights, so on and so forth. She has a handler that carries around a Bible and walks around and hits her in the back of the head sometimes and says, keep talking, keep talking. That's the key word that keeps her going. Julian Assange, if he truly does have email that'll take her down, if he gives her handlers, she's just a puppet, gives the people that she's working for time to work around. If he does destroy her today, there's still 2 months before the election. They could do all kinds of things. Pump up Joe Biden, who is being groomed to be a step-in. Others are being groomed to be a step-in. The final step-in is supposed to be just a god-awful, truly evil Jesuit of the bad kind priest who is the Antichrist, I'm told, and I can't tell you how I found that out, but he's waiting till the very last minute in case Obama doesn't do anything, martial law doesn't happen, a huge natural event, probably the Cascade on the West Coast. That's number 1. Yellowstone is number 2. And there are 3 or 4 other natural calamities. I mean, killing millions of people, which would cause President Obama to say, well, in the good of the country, we're going to call off the election and I'm going to remain president for the time being, which means a 3rd term, which means king, which means President Obama forever. Julian Assange probably does have an emails that'll take her down for good, but he's waiting till the very last minute, just in case nothing happens. If he releases it a day or 2 before the election, even though Hillary, on true, she's 70 points behind. John McCain was 30 points behind, but he still won by 12 points. The Federal Election Committee, DHS, others have taken the whole thing over. Your vote no longer counts. It's, as Stalin said, it's not who votes, it's who counts the votes. It's the same thing here. So Julian Assange is playing a waiting game to see if, until the very, very, very last minute, if at least one Hillary, even a clone, is still moving and can be voted on and can be hacked into winning the presidential, winning president, which it's my belief will cause a civil war, but that's a whole other story. Anyway, that's why he is waiting. If he does it now, he gives them time to regroup and sort things out, get a new candidate, yada yada, and carry on, and then be able to kind of say, oh, we won the election even though they lost it by 30 points, and so forth. Civil war then still breaks out, but not in the same way, and they might tamp it down, and we go into Nazi Germany, SS Gestapo, Georgia Guidestones, you know, on and on like that. It will not be a fun time. All of you, including me, conservatives, white conservative Christians. If you don't have your 6 months of water, food and water, plenty of firearms, so on and so forth, you're either going to be dead or in a FEMA camp, one or the other. I don't personally feel we're going to make it to the election, no matter what. But Julian Assange, that's why he is waiting. I'm amazed, talking to others, why they don't understand that. But that's why. That's why he is waiting. Just in case. Last chance. This is W0TM, also known as Woden, signing out and signing off. Thank you very much for waiting, and see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. And I'm still working on the video about Morgellons and so on and so forth, but there's so much stuff going on. I'm working on it. Take care. Bye-bye.